You ready? Good morning, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, and the rest of the world. You've tuned in to the Mac City Morning Show. I am your host, Elliot Pierre, and we're going to start the show off the same way we start every episode off, with a moment of gratitude. I know you could be doing a million other things with your time, so the fact that you're spending with us truly does mean the world to me, so thank you. On that note, Tanner, hit him with it.
How's she cutting me, loves? You're listening to the Mac City Morning Show.
And we are back. I'm excited about today's episode because I don't know anything about this gentleman. He's doing some pretty cool things in town, though. Tanner, hit him with the coffee table. We're looking at some Frisbees there. As everybody knows, I don't introduce my guests because they can do a better job at that than I can. So on that note, gentlemen, sir, can you please introduce yourself to the people at home?
Thanks for having me, Elliot. My name's Kyle Warren. I'm the president of the Wood Buffalo Disc Golf Association.
Okay.
It's a mouthful, I know.
Yeah, that's all right.
You can find us on Facebook as Fort McMurray Disc Golfers. That's
okay.
Easier. So on that note, we like to call these things discs.
Okay.
That's our game sport is played with discs. So they're regulated by the Professional Disc Golf Association,
Okay.
which is a nationally recognized company entity that regulates the discs. So they're all around like 9 inches. They have a flight plate that'll be a speed from 1 to 14. It's kind of arbitrary, but
Okay.
we all talk in flight numbers. So maybe can you toss me one of these discs here?
Which one?
It's got some weight to
It's
it,
got
right?
some weight to it,
So
yeah.
you don't want to just throw this like a Walmart disc. It's
Yeah.
I always say you don't want to spill your drink.
Okay.
You're balancing a drink on your disc, so
Yeah.
you juice.
Yeah.
And if you tilted your disc enough that your juice were to slide off, that's too
Yeah.
much of an angle. So you
Right.
only have the majority of the time if you're trying to learn to throw flat and straight.
Yeah.
That's why I always give beginners first tips. And so, yeah, as disc golfers, speaking these numbers here, I don't know if you can see that on any of these cameras, but one of your cameras might pick it up, that one. Okay, yeah. So there's 4 flight numbers here. Basically just describes how fast it goes, how much it lifts, its glide,
Okay.
and then turn and fade, which are golf terms as well.
Yeah.
So how much it wants to go to your back on the fast turn at that
Right.
fast flight at the beginning, it's spinning a lot.
Okay.
And then how much it wants to fade towards where your chest is facing at the end
Okay.
as it slows down its rotation.
Cool.
So that's a little bit of basics on disc golf anyway.
So I got so many questions. I don't even know where to start.
There's a lot. I'm like, how long is your show?
Yeah.
'Cause I could just keep
All right.
talking.
So my first question is, because I think most people would be interested in this. I'm not saying it's the best question to start off on, but it's my first one. Where in town can you do this?
Great question. Yeah, so Lions Park is our kind of little gem disc golf course downtown.
Okay.
I installed that course in November 2017
Okay.
with the help of the Rotary Club, Oil Sands Rotary Club I'm in. I have
Okay.
2 Rotary clubs in town.
Right. So we
One
do.
of my hats. This is my disc golf hat.
Okay.
One of them, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm hopelessly addicted. And so, yeah, we play on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. at Lions.
Okay.
And then we have our youth league, which is ages 6 to 18 on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. at Lions
Okay.
as well. Yeah.
So that's where the parks. That's where the course
That's
is.
the main one. That's kind of our favorite little gem downtown. It's just so easy for everyone to get to right downtown,
Okay.
right? And it's a well-maintained
Yeah.
park, like the Parks and Rec guys. Big shout out to those
Yeah.
guys and NWB for letting me,
Yeah.
approving me to throw that in there.
Right.
It's a shared use area, so I
Yeah.
mean, you got to kind of, first rule of disc golf is you don't throw when there's someone visible on the fairway,
That's right.
players or park goers and stuff like that. So.
Okay. So second, what's the hole? Where's this landing in?
Okay, so we have a basket.
Okay.
I should have pulled up a picture or something, but
That's all right.
maybe Tanner, I don't know if you.
Yeah.
It's like a metal band around the top.
Okay.
And usually like 2 or 3 inches. So when you hit that, it's like dink and like,
Yeah.
that's the worst sound to a disc golfer's
Yeah,
ears.
yeah.
Then there's 3 sets of chains, which you want
That's
to hit.
right.
You hit ching, that's a good sound. It
Yeah.
drops into a wire basket kind of thing. So it's
Yeah.
all about 2.5, 3 feet wide.
Right. I've seen these down there.
That's how you hold that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's about 4 feet tall.
Okay.
So yeah, you might have seen them around the park. And now we have a bunch out at Rotary Links as well, which is the
Okay.
other course I designed a couple of years ago.
Nice.
Oh, not designed. That's a professional architect designed the course, but
Right.
I placed some baskets out there.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
And so that's and we got a big tournament coming up at the end of the month here, August 28, 29.
Okay.
Very excited for that. So we got I think about 20 locals or something like that signed up so far.
Nice.
Trying to draw in some guys from Edmonton. Tons of local sponsors. There's
Okay.
Mitchell's Cafe is going to be catering our sandwiches at Lions Park on Sunday.
Nice.
And you get a bunch of stuff in your players pack, 10 to 15% off. 57 North. Shout out to those guys. They're putting together a little care package. They all have CTP prizes, so they'll each have their own little hole on the course. And the guy that has the closest flag, got your disc closest to the basket on some kind of shorter hole.
Yeah.
That day will get either like lunch for two at Mitchell's, for example, or
Yeah.
a care package with gift cards and 57 North swag and stuff
Okay.
like that.
So, how did you get into this? Like, it's fascinating to me. Like, I love. Yep. How do you get into it?
About 10 years ago, I started throwing discs around Rundle Park in Edmonton. I'm from Edmonton originally. And yeah, that would have been about right before I moved up to Fort Mac. I was starting to play out there, so I was getting pretty into it a couple of years before I moved here, and then I was flying in and out at first and eventually moved here. And then, so that was something I was looking around, and I noticed that Rotary Club of Fort Mcmurray Oil Sands, another mouthful, it was doing a project already.
Yeah.
And so I got involved with that, and we donated 12 baskets to Vista Ridge.
Okay.
So that was the first course. That was 2016 or something like that, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they've been using, they set up kind of I'd say their permanent layout is 9 baskets now.
Yeah.
So I actually got 3 of those back, and we're going to be installing them at Rotary Links and expanding out there because they plan to be a 18-hole golf course by next year.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're expanding that a little bit, and we're getting to tinker and like refine our layouts that we had over the last 2 years here. So
Okay.
it's coming together, and I'm really excited to show it off for the tournament at the end of the
Nice.
month. Oil
So-
Sands Open 2.
You started, so I have so many questions. Okay, so now
It's
you've
perfect.
started it. You've got these 3 areas, I guess, that you could go. Lions Park, Vista Ridge, Rotary Links.
Right.
So you said something in regards to it's like on certain dates, Wednesdays and
Thursdays.
Thursdays.
Yeah, Wednesdays Youth League at 7
Right.
p.m. and then Thursdays are the adults, but
So-
any skill level can
that's
show
right. So
up.
traditional golf, you make a tee time, and you can do this anytime.
Right.
So it's this like, how does that work on those certain dates? Are you doing it
Yeah,
in like a huge
for-
group or?
Yeah, so like as a tournament director, when I set up people at Lions Park when
Yeah.
we're running a tournament, we
Yeah.
would do what's called a shotgun start. So you see on your app now, things are a little more COVID friendly, but before
Yeah.
it was like you can see anyone. You had to go directly over to your hole.
Yeah.
And everything was done over your phone basically.
Right.
And a small group of people. And but yeah, super social distancing friendly. So I mean, it's gotten really popular over the pandemic actually.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. So
That's
Lions, I'd send
cool.
you to your tee pad.
Yeah.
To answer your question. Rotary, it's a golf course, so we have to make tee times, and we send people, stagger people.
Okay, and so at Rotary, this is not affecting the golf that's taking place. You're outside.
That's a good question. So
Are you getting hit by balls?
yeah, we demand. We make it mandatory that you have to be a member with our clubs because there's
Okay.
going to be a list of things that you should know before you go to an actual golf course.
That's right.
Being a disc golfer, that's super rare. I think we're only one of 4 or 5 courses that you can ride a golf cart around and throw discs in Canada.
Yeah.
I think we're the only one in Alberta.
Yeah.
For sure.
Cool.
And so it's pretty special. It's cool. Like lots of disc golf courses are free. Like at least 90% of
Yeah.
courses are free.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a different situation where you're sending people out to a professional golf course. There's obviously like a dress etiquette and,
That's right.
and golf etiquette and things like that. So
Yeah.
we want to make sure guys aren't just like stripping down and jumping in the pond.
That's right. Yeah,
like
no
they're
doubt,
doing on
no
their
doubt.
night rounds maybe. I
yeah,
want to
yeah.
get that disc back. So
So what's the cost of this then?
to Rotary, it's 14 for 9 holes and $20 for 18. two
Okay.
laps. Yeah.
And if you show up at Lions Park,
That's actually a good point. We usually have like later in the day, so we usually book like maybe 7 p.m. or something like that.
okay.
Once the golf crowd kind of dies down, because they're paying more for their rounds.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah,
so
yeah.
they get priority. We don't use the greens, so we don't really pay like green fees.
Okay.
It's just kind of like cart.
And if you're showing up on Wednesday, Thursday, down at Lions Park, what's the
Yeah.
cost for that? Same thing?
Membership, so that's $20
For the year?
A year, yeah. Yeah,
Jeez,
super
okay.
low cost to get
Yeah,
into.
yeah, yeah.
$5 drop-ins, or if you're committed, like the handful of guys that we have showing up
Yeah.
every week, they pay $50, and that's your best 10 rounds.
Yeah.
So then you're not exceeding that 10 round payment, basically.
That's right. That's right.
And then you can throw. I think I'm probably at like approaching 20 rounds. I've thrown away a lot of crappy scores. By now. I started off real bad at the beginning of the season. Everyone was like, "Yes, we're gonna beat Kyle this year."
Yeah.
And then
That's awesome. That's
Quantity
so
over
cool,
quality.
man.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a super fun sport. I'm very addicted. I got sponsored this year. This is my sponsor,
Okay.
DiscStore.com. Shout out to those guys in
Big shout out.
in Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska.
So what,
DiscStore.com.
as a sponsor, what do
distributor.
you get? They give you free swag?
Yeah, stuff
or-
like this. So I got my name on the back.
Nice.
I don't know if
Nice.
you can see that.
That's awesome,
Not very
man.
flexible.
Very cool.
Yeah, so they've got me a bunch of jerseys. They helped us out for the tournament. I
Yeah.
still haven't listed all of our sponsors. We have
Yeah.
a lot of sponsors. But
Yeah.
so those guys, yeah, they're distributors, so they have cool stuff. Like they make us jerseys for our team.
Nice.
Our Wood Buffalo disc golf jerseys.
So now there's numerous disc golf courses throughout Canada and the world, like you've mentioned.
Yeah.
So are there like tournaments that you could go to outside of Fort McMurray? Like if you get
Yeah.
like
for
you
sure.
got skills at this, you've been doing it a long time. Like
Yeah.
practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
So do you go compete in other areas?
That's right. Yeah, I'll travel around Alberta mostly and hit up tournaments. And we have like big tournament directors like my buddy Wally down in Edmonton runs a lot of like the Northwoods tour.
Yeah.
Last year we were a part of that. I think next year we should be in that tour again.
Okay.
And with the announcement of a huge course getting built in Fort Mac,
Yeah.
like really high budget, high level, like and got to meet the course designer Daryl Banks a couple of weeks ago from Innova Canada. He came up.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool to pick his brain, get some ideas on course design.
Okay.
And he's working with the RMWB on that. It's in Stony Creek by the Limestone Link. It goes up to Canadian Brew House.
Okay.
You know the parkade going into
I
the
do.
Stony Creek. So
Yeah.
that road that leads up to there.
Cool.
That whole little forested area there. That's going to be all cleared up
Very neat.
to this giant court. Well, it's not huge, but I mean it's going to be a really big for disc golf in Fort Mac because
That's awesome,
it'll
man.
have at least 18 baskets, 18 holes.
That's right.
Variations of layout, long and short,
Yeah.
and then have like youth and like accessibility friendly kind of in the center with like a little less altitude changes and
Yeah.
less chance of losing your discs deep in the woods.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, for
Very
sure.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. We're at the part of the show. This is Tanner's segment called the Mac City Minute. He's going to ask you some questions. I don't know what he's going to ask, so best of luck to you. Tanner, hit him with the Mac City Minute.
Alrighty, question number 1. What is one disc golf course you dream of playing on?
Oh man. Okay, I've heard a lot about what's it called? I totally forget now. Tree Hill, I want to say something like that in Massachusetts. One of my favorite disc golfers, Simon Lizotte, lives out there, and it'd be really cool to run into him. This is his sponsor, Discmania.
Okay.
So just happen to have one of these.
Cool.
Question number 2 for you. What is your favorite thing about designing your own courses in Fort McMurray?
I don't want to say bragging rights, but that's pretty cool. Just bringing the community together. I would say like it's really cool little community. You come out on Thursdays, you see your disc buddies, and
Yeah.
maybe have a beer and throw some discs around. Just colorful plastic circles. It's my favorite thing.
Awesome.
One of them.
Question number 3. How did it feel to become the Rotary president?
Ooh, yeah, brings that one up. I like it.
Wow.
Speaking of bragging.
Yeah.
That's one of my other hats in town here. So Rotary Club, Fort McMurray Oil Sands. It was a great experience. I got to go to Germany for the international conference there with my wife, and we tacked on a little bit of Europe, Greece, and Amsterdam. Got to see some
Nice.
pretty cool things. That was my first European trip, so yeah, got totally spoiled. It's a bit of responsibility, obviously. I like to lead the Real Rock Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may recognize me from that.
Yeah.
And I'm a climber, so I mean, yeah, I try to support the community with things that I like to do. Yeah.
Question number 4. What is your favorite jump from your many times skydiving?
Oh man. Okay, so that's another thing that I love to do. I said
You guys obviously know each other.
I know Tanner.
Okay, I was just like, what the? Where are these questions coming from? Okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got my 10-year pin from the Canadian Sports Parachute Association.
Yeah.
And I've been jumping for like 13, 14 years. Only have somewhere between 420 and 450 jumps. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
But a lot of people over that length of time would have a lot more. But I've accepted I'm recreational. I like to go free flying, it's called. So
Yeah.
just giving a basis towards what I'm trying to think might be my favorite jump. But
Yeah.
so we go vertical. So like a sit fly, you have to kind of present. Everything's backwards. If you want to move forward,
Right.
you have to put your head back to catch wind with your back. And
Yeah.
my friends are making fun of me. I do this in bars all the time, explaining
Yeah,
how
yeah.
to skydive vertically. And then I've been starting to break into head down. So you're dip flying shelf or daffy, and your legs are like this or that.
Right.
It's really complicated. Like any little movement, it's like imperceptible in the video, but you can just be cruising. You're going like 300 kilometers an hour, your body. So like any little hand movement, you're like spinning
Yeah, it
around.
makes a big difference.
So free flying, that's my discipline, super fun. And my favorite jump would be probably a helicopter jump in Calgary or Innisfail.
Yeah.
They were called Big Sky at the time. They're Alberta Skydive Central now.
Yeah.
And they had this cool black helicopter. It took us up, I think we were maybe like only 6,000 feet or so. Normally we go to 12 to 14,000 in bigger planes. But it was just such a cool experience because it's like, it was my first time and I was like, okay, I'm a climber. I want to do a bat hang on this helicopter. So I locked my heels in underneath the landing gear of the helicopter. Hung upside down with my buddies and they're all dangling off of it. And I was just like, ready, set, go, and dropped upside down. And you get that like floating feeling you thought you were going to get when you first went skydiving, but the plane's already going like 100 some kilometers an hour.
That's
so
right.
You're flying as soon as you leave, there's wind on you.
Yeah.
With the helicopter, there's like down chop too. So there's like dead air plus like air coming down. So there's this area where you just can't float. And as a skydiver, you like, are trying to fly as soon as you leave, right?
That's
You're
right.
just
That's
kind
right.
of like spinning in space for a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's a super cool feeling. That was really fun.
Neat.
And then a little free fly.
Horrifying, but neat.
Yeah.
And your final question. What is one way Fort McMurray has embraced disc golf that surprises you?
The youth league I'm really proud of. This year finally came together again. I'm gonna blame the universal problem pandemic over the last 2 years. But yeah, so we've been trying and we finally got it going. Big shout out to Mitchell and Melody Geisler. They've been pulling in so many kids. Last week we had 9 kids, and I mean like that competes with a good night of us adults showing up on a Thursday. So yeah, really proud of that. I'm glad to see it expanding in the community.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's
very
nice,
cool.
heartwarming.
Cool. That's it. Those are your 5.
Those are my 5.
Yeah. Listen, this just goes to show how much myself and Tanner plan or prepare for these episodes.
That's cool. Well, the people that are watching the show are like, probably don't know anything about disc golf too.
That's right. They're just like, I didn't know
Start
you
from
and
a blank
Tanner knew
slate.
each other. I'm finding out with the people at home myself.
If it makes you feel any better, I didn't even know you were coming on as a guest because somebody forgot to add me to the event.
Oh, shots fired.
That would be me. So that's funny. That's funny. That's how we roll at the Mac City Morning Show. Yeah. Okay, listen, we're at the end of the 20 minutes. That being said, like I got so many more questions, man.
Yeah.
Please come back again sooner rather than later. We'll book you again before you leave because
Cool. Yeah. that'd be
yeah,
awesome,
like
for sure.
so
Yeah, I could
many
totally keep
questions
going.
for you. But before I cut you loose, everybody gets their shameless shout out or plug. So the mic's yours. Go.
Okay, well, definitely my wife. She's at home with our newborn son. He is 4 weeks old now, Eli for short. So very proud of that. That's why we didn't get to do an interview last month.
All right, congratulations,
then.
then.
While she was going into labor.
Yeah.
So beautiful wife, Jen Warren, at home. Thank you for everything you do for us.
There we go. Now that's the shout out. That's called brownie points right there.
Points right there.
All right. Well, for McMurray, Wood Buffalo, and the rest of the world, thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of the Mac City Morning Show. Really, really do appreciate it. So thank you. hopefully you're having a nice day. And we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.